Well, with me is Leonard Okelo, the CEO of the Uhuru Institute. Thanks for joining me, Leonard.
Thank you.
All right.
Good evening, viewers. Yeah.
This time round, heading to the 2016, what are the issues that are going to be really broad-based issues in regard to the demands of the youth?
There is a growing large section of unemployed, underemployed, and some actually fairly unemployable youth. Painful. I say so with a lot of pain because you find a lot of young people who have done courses who they can't get jobs. Their jobs are not there, not because they're not educated, but or they have not been prepared for their job so well. They have passed exams, but they're not skilled enough to do the job. And we have an economic situation which, in my view, is not going to improve very well over the next 6 months, especially with a lot of spending in elections. I think inflation is going to get higher. And so not only are the youth going to have serious unemployment, anxieties and concern, there will going to be a general problem of poverty across the country. And the majority of those who are poor are young, they are frustrated, and they are bitter.
Why do you think that the issue of unemployment is taking center stage this time round? Because Uganda has held several elections. It has not been a serious issue.
Because this is probably going to be the second election where we are not having conflict or war in any part of the country. So you could say that's Museveni's big success. When there is security, the hierarchy of needs start growing. People start wanting more. And the next thing, which is immediate, is the basic needs. Wanting to have some income to be able to provide for your livelihood is the first thing that is going to come.
The youth are not, there seem to be forces behind using them. What they are fronting as unemployment factor is not a genuine concern.
I would be not only surprised but disappointed if anybody in this country, that is especially the leaders, told me that they don't recognize that there is a major unemployment reason. I think the facts and figures of all the surveys by U-Boss and the like show that unemployment is high for young people and they need jobs for them to be useful. The second thing is that I think the pinch of income is big, and it's big among younger people because they still have not accumulated wealth, and therefore they're the ones who are in the front line of fighting poverty. Those are the realities and facts of life.
The driving factors of the 1981, 1986 revolution, the driving force that caused that revolution to take place were the disgruntled youth of the time. The same thing is happening. Don't you see that strange that the youth in Uganda are only used for regime change, not for the betterment of the country?
I think the political circumstances and economic circumstances of the time also determine how the youth engage, what you call being used or not being used. In the 1980s, security was not good in this country. I was a youth at that time. My first voting was in 1980, and I can tell you, when the election results were announced, from about 7 p.m. in the morning up to 7 a.m. in the morning, the gunshots in Kampala was like frontline warfare. I kept asking myself in the room, what is happening today? If you won an election, why do you shoot all over the place? So security was a major issue. And a lot of the young people went out. A lot of it was about, we need safety, we need security. They went out because they're not happy with the security situation in the country.
What do you make of the argument that is being advanced by very many scholars that having an 86% unemployed youth is another source of insecurity?
If I were in leadership now, I would be thinking serious about what message do I give young people that gives them hope for employment, but also hope for wealth creation into their hands going forward. And the other thing which I think is going to be a big thing for young people today, I think they have also grown up in a violent recent history of the country. They have also grown up in a recent history of impunity in this country, in which those who were shooting guns yesterday are the most successful people now. Those who have got money out of corruption with impunity are the ones who seem to be successful now.
What should be done at this point in time to ease the pressures that the unemployed graduates or youth are mounting on government?
To be creative first and foremost, and also be able to discover that they are good at in life, and give it a chance actually to develop on the skill they need in order to tap into the full potential of that program.
Where is the problem? Is it the kind of education that is being offered to them, or is unwillingness, lack of political willingness from the government to make the environment conducive for them to make business?
As you have mentioned about the education system, maybe we have now the new curriculum in Ministry of Education, let me say, and where young people are now being trained in different skills. You know, besides the normal formal education, there are these other vocational skills to enable them to do something.
From the base of our researches being done, we do understand that most of the vocational institutes, these are privately owned. Government has very few. Don't you find that strange?
We are urging government actually to work out in partnerships with these vocational skills to ensure that those that come through the mainstream, that from let me say the peasant families that are not able to afford those kind of fees, government will go a long way to meet the costs.
Thanks, Lillian, for joining me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.